As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Hey, bestie! Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years. And I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Cloudy, breezy, and cool here for our Friday. We're only going to manage 57 for a high temperature, but with north wind gusts up around 30 miles an hour, it's going to make it feel that much cooler here today. Tonight, we're going to stay mostly cloudy down to 38 for a low. For Saturday, sunshine, a high of 62 before we bring in some rain on Easter Sunday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Thanks for letting me stay over while my apartment's getting painted.
No problem. Oh, bagels are done.
Is it supposed to rain today?
Let's find out.
Hey, an entire video screen just came out of your toaster.
There's a 70% chance of rain today.
More things should be built in, like the multiplier in Mega Millions from your Nebraska Lottery. It's one of the new enhancements to the game, along with bigger jackpots and better odds.
Should I wear the blue or the green blouse?
Blue. It matches your eyes.
$5 Mega Millions top prize odds, 1 in 290 million.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Welcome to The Drive with AD Raff and Ahman Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Ahman Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Friday. I dropped the ball early today. I did not look at the forecast for today, so I dressed like it was summer again, and it's not summer.
You didn't step outside and be like, this is not a good idea.
I stepped outside when I was leaving to
come
here. And I was like, whoa, hey. little brisk.
A little chilly this morning, man. It was definitely a little chilly this morning. See, I would have made a U-turn, dog. I would have been like,
I thought about it, but then I was like, well, 58 today.
You have shorts and a T-shirt literally on.
Yeah, it's summertime. Summertime.
Nicholas, what's happening, man?
Not a whole lot, gentlemen. Hanging on there. It's Easter weekend, so that's what's happening this week. But other than that, it's been a pretty good week so far.
What's your Easter plans, man? You got family coming in? What's happening?
To the beautiful city of Seward, Nebraska. So I will be in Seward, the Nebraska 4th of July city on Easter.
Nice.
That'll be the plan.
So you got family coming in from Dorchester
to
Seward?
Different side of the family.
Different
side. Dorchester family is only in Dorchester. Seward family is all over.
Keep them separated.
Yep.
I love it.
You guys know how I am with different groups. I don't collide. we don't let friend groups collide. We don't want worlds to mix.
Hey, he's not joking.
Well, Sean from JTP, he gets access sometimes.
That's true. Sometimes.
AG, what about you, my man? What's the plans for this weekend, bro?
Just probably just hang at the house, but cook up. I know my wife, she's gonna hit the kitchen hard. We're gonna clean up a little bit today around the house and just relax because I've been traveling most of the month, so trying to recover. That's it. And then after that, we'll be off to NFL draft. So,
are you practicing, AG?
Oh yeah,
it came out last night.
Gets to make an announcement.
There's no hiding it anymore. I'm just sad that I didn't get an invite for backstage with a dinner with Roger Goodell or anything like that.
Hey, I didn't know it was a dinner with Roger Goodell for sure. But no, I knew I was doing the event. And they haven't, obviously, what they've done at every draft so far is bring in current or former players from the team city that is representing the draft that year. So great opportunity. I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. I definitely will do that. Have some fun out there.
Hey, let me ask you this. What are some of the things that you know of offhand that have already been revealed? You don't have to reveal anything, obviously, that's not been revealed yet.
Oh, well, yeah, it's nothing. I mean, revealing stuff. I'll say one thing is if anybody is listening in, if you download the NFL One Pass app, that'll get you into every event going on during the week for free. You just got to download it to your phone and then have the app ready to go with your information and all that. That's one thing. And then, it's a who's who of Packer lore and NFL guys. We got Leroy. He's doing a party, I believe, on Wednesday night, the night before the draft kicks off. And then I got a couple events planned. Gilbert. We do our show. We're gonna do our show from our friend Dave Powers. He has a comic book store literally right down the street from Lambeau Field, and we're gonna do a draft day show right there on a Friday afternoon, and then I'm doing a little fundraiser partnership with a company I partnered with this past summer. Stay Plugged In. We're doing a Madden tournament for we had started it back in Super Bowl, so back around Super Bowl time, and the kids from his 2 high schools from North Carolina, 2 high schools from the New England area, and 2 high schools from the Houston and Green Bay area that will be competing in Madden. So the final 2 or 4 players will be flown into Green Bay for the weekend, their families as well, from the company Stay Plugged In, and get to hang out and see who wins the championship. So it's a nice full weekend, sign autographs, meet and greets, all that type of stuff.
Let me ask you guys this, and AJ, obviously you're going to be there, very busy, of course. You guys, what do you think? Who do you guys, in your opinion, who's going to be the #1 draft? Raff, what do you think?
I'm going to go Cam Ward.
Isn't that bizarre that we're thinking about that?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done and this is my fault. I haven't done a deep enough of dive on some of the teams. I look at it as who's going to go #1 or who is most valuable to where they should go #1. Because the guy I think is one of the best in the draft is Abdul Carter from Penn State, the outside linebacker, the edge guy. However, teams we talked about it ad nauseum a couple of weeks ago. Teams get desperate around draft time, and they think they can talk themselves into a quarterback being their guy. And so they will reach, and they always do it every single year. And it's the opposite of what Sonny from draft day was able to do and trade down because he didn't want to take Bo Callahan. It's the opposite. They talk themselves into why, but despite people not going to his birthday party, they still want to take Bo Callahan at #1. So,
well, you know who hosted that birthday party?
Who was that? Vontae Mack?
Sean Diddy Combs.
That's right. Okay, easy. That is on the movie. But anyway, AG, your mic turned off, by the way. But anyway,
Got it.
Back on. But either way, I do think it's going to be a quarterback, and I'm leaning Cam Ward as well.
AG, what about you, my man?
Yeah, I feel Cam Ward has a good story to tell and good gameplay over the last couple of years. He had been all over the place college football wise, and it wasn't by choice. It's just the way things had worked out for him college wise, and he went into a portal a couple times and then landed at Miami. But what he did do was mature and develop at every stop. So he got a little bit better. And then when he got to Miami, then obviously that's a school that is always going to be on the radar no matter what their record is. I mean, they can have a bad season and everybody's still talking about Miami on some level. So that helps out a lot of players, including himself. Abdul Carter, he's a guy he could just on his size alone. I said he doesn't look like a big kid. He kind of reminds me of, he got number 11. He's in a lineage of Parsons, that's in Dallas. So that's where I see, maybe he could affect that, but we just see how powerful he is because we know Michael Parsons could do some damage. But let's see, it's going to be a wait and see because he is at the college level. Most guys can take advantage, of their size and speed. And he didn't have a whole bunch of size. He had the speed more than anything. So it's going to be interesting how that relates to then trying to get around NFL guards and tackles and tight ends that do chip on when they go out before they go out on their wrap, things like that. How can he handle that and still be an issue like he was at Penn State?
You look at the draft order. I'm going to say mine real fast. I think Abdul Carter's going to go.
Okay.
Oh, he's definitely going. Yeah,
I think he's going first. I think he's going to be. That's just. I mean, obviously, I have nothing to back it up. I just think. I think Tennessee wants Javon Kirsch #2.
Freak.
And he could come in to Tennessee. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he was #1 going in, man. Javon Kirsch, being like a Javon Kirsch type guy. Javon Kirsch was a freak. Because AJ, you played against Kirsch for a while, didn't you?
Hello, AG.
Yep, I'm here. I didn't hear you.
Did you play against Javon
Kirsch?
Against
Kirsch?
Oh yeah. He wasn't fun to play against. I just say that. It was the hardest. Oh man, he was one of the hardest guys to block. Like when he coming off the edge, I just made sure I said, hey, I tell my tackle, keep your split wide as possible. So then when I get to the edge, he has he just has a little bit of like a crack to try to walk through. Like because he has shakes too. He could shake. He shook me a couple times of me trying to block, and I was like, Brett, hey, I just give him forewarning. Hey, get rid of the ball fast. Just doing my best over here. I said, just get rid of the ball fast because we got number 90. What was he? I'm not sure. He was 90. He was 90. He was 90 at this or something like that. I'll tell them, hey, just being honest. Hey, get rid of the ball fast.
Get rid of it quick.
Get the ball out.
It'd be like, Brett, where you from? Mississippi? Well, you got one of them.
Yeah. Get the ball out fast.
Get rid of it.
So, yeah.
Well, the draft status, you got obviously Tennessee going number 1. I'll just go through the top 10 real fast. You got Cleveland picking at number 2, the Giants at 3, Pats at 4, Jacksonville Jags at 5, Vegas Raiders at 6, the Jets at 7, Panthers at 8, Saints at 9, the Bears at number 10.
Yeah. It could get interesting real quick because if Abdul Carter goes number 1, then all of a sudden Cleveland's sitting there like they've been talking, well, Travis Hunter, but now it's like, do we go quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
And then if they don't take quarterback, then Giants have a decision. Do we go Shedeur? Because they've sent their contingent out there to watch Shedeur again. Then all of a sudden, if Cam Ward's still sitting there, so
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
but don't forget they signed Mr. Unlimited.
Oh, I forgot.
The Giants signed Mr. Unlimited,
and they do have Jameis too.
Who's Mr. Unlimited?
Russell Wilson.
Oh, gotcha.
Mr. Unlimited.
You know, DP gave me a shirt, the Steelers shirt. I didn't wear it yet, and I doubt I will wear it. I love it. I'm going to keep it just for keepsake. It has Russell Wilson on there.
Yes.
The name of that shirt he gave me. And I didn't wear it yet. I haven't worn it yet. Obviously, I won't now, but I'm still going to just hold on to it.
Frame it, put it in your office.
Probably not. But it just shows you how quickly things can change in this. Hey, let me ask you this, man. For the town of Green Bay, it's still hovering around 105,000, give or take 110?
What you mean?
The population.
Current population?
Yeah.
No, they're around 250. It's around 250. 250,000 people, but it's going to triple that.
I was going to say, the
economic
impact is probably going to be insane, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe. God, I was just with one of the city organizers and planners, and they said, I think that. They said it at dinner. I think it's roughly economic impact to the state, not just Green Bay, to the state of Wisconsin. It's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood between 15 and 30 million.
So easy.
Wow.
Easy.
You know.
AG, so have you picked out an outfit? Like, or do we know what we're wearing?
Yeah, I know what I'm wearing. So
what are we wearing?
Do you need me to send you a Ralph Roadies t-shirt?
What's that?
Do you need me to send you a Ralph's Roadies t-shirt?
Nah. Hey, I need one of those anyway. I don't have one yet. So there you go.
I don't think you need one. I think you're good.
Yeah, so I got my wife working on something. So
okay.
She has her cricket, and one of her friends, they been playing around with stuff, and they've been coming up with some good ideas. And I said, hey, I got one for you. Let's do this for draft day. So you got to wait and see.
Are you coming full-fledged Batman?
I was going to say, just rock the Batman outfit, AG. Just do the Batman outfit, dog.
No, that'll be too many trademark issues I got to deal with. So I'm coming out. I'll just say this: I'm coming out with my own branding.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Folks, we've got a lot to go through in today. We got a guest at 10:30. There's going to be an exciting guest we got coming at 10:30. A lot of Husker football at 10 o'clock because things have been changed for the spring festivities. So we'll talk about that. But before we even get into that, I guess actually when we come back, there's been some changes as far as a particular quarterback's destination. Is Nick? I'm applauding you over there. You handle it like a champ, though, man. You're doing it beautiful.
We're here.
All I need is one mic.
Nobody saw anything, but we're here.
Oh man,
real fast though. Before we go to break, Nebraska softball.
Yes,
Nick, pump that up, man.
Yeah. So let me flip the camera back here. So I have some exciting news. Husker softball this week, and I got 2 pairs of tickets to give away for tonight's game. If you want to go to Nebraska softball versus Indiana tonight, courtesy of our good friend John Squire, obviously the father of Abby Squire, courtesy of John. He texted AD and I a couple of days ago and was like, "Hey, look, I got some tickets. I'm not going to be able to use them. I want Husker fans there. I want to load bowling. And here's the deal: these are like row 5 at Bowling Stadium. If you want to win we have two pairs, right? So 4 tickets total. If you and a friend, you and a kid, you and your significant other want to go to Husker softball tonight, the first 2 people to chime in on the text line, 402-464-5685, will win a pair of tickets. We have 2 different sets, 2 tickets apiece. So you and somebody else can go enjoy Husker softball, one of the best teams in the Big Ten, number 18 in the country. Nebraska softball take on Indiana later this evening at Bowling Stadium.
And the the men's baseball team takes on Northwestern at 6 p.m. So there's going to be a lot of things going on down there.
The men's baseball team.
Nick, what Northwestern comes to town, got a 3-game, obviously they played it out at 6 o'clock. That'll be on the all the games will be on the Big Ten Plus. So they play at 6 p.m. Tonight versus Northwestern. They play tomorrow at 2 p.m. And then they play Sunday on Easter at 12. That'll also be on the Big Ten Plus network. All those Big Ten Pluses will be this weekend. Nick, are you gonna make any games at all, brother?
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go out to the Sunday game. I'm gonna see Nebraska versus Northwestern on Sunday. So we're gonna check that one out on Sunday and see if Nebraska, can build off of what the win over Creighton was on Tuesday night, right? Like this is now, as you enter the second half of the conference slate, build on what you can do and what you've done, the performances, right? There was a lot of good things that Nebraska did, especially offensively on Sunday. Continued to add on, continued to pile on, never really let their foot off the gas. They allowed their defense to go to work. They limited the errors. They limited the free passes. That's what you got to do in the Big Ten as well, especially when you're not a all-beater team like Nebraska is. And so ultimately, when you look at Northwestern, 3 gettable games, right? And Nebraska yet to sweep a Big Ten opponent this season. They've won 2 of 3 a couple of times, right? Rutgers and other places. But, you only win 1 out of 3 last week against the Iowa Hawkeyes on the road. See if you can bounce back after a win against Creighton in the midweek and truly help your conference standings. Nebraska sits currently at like 13th in the Big Ten conference standings for baseball. And so the top 12 teams make the conference tournament. You don't want to be one of those few that don't.
Especially when it's in Omaha.
Yeah.
And you already know, like from a conference standpoint, the Big Ten wants Nebraska to be involved because from a fan base standpoint, it is a jolt when Nebraska's there. We saw it a couple of years ago, 2 seasons ago, when Nebraska didn't make it, just how thin the attendance is. That's an important event for the state of Nebraska, Omaha, to keep. That's an important event for them to keep. And you don't want, they signed a deal last year where it keeps it in Omaha for another couple of years, but you don't want them to have that conversation in 2 seasons when it's up for renewal and go, well, look, is Nebraska making it every year, or should we move it out west where teams like UCLA are going to make it and a team like Oregon is going to be at the top of the conference or something like that, right? Like they're going to do with the Big Ten football championship to make it a little more centered geographically. So when it's all said and done, I think Nebraska just has to keep on keeping on.
Jake, let us know we got John Squire on the phone.
All right, let's do it. Let's bring him in.
He's going to call. Absolutely. John Squire, good morning, brother.
Hey, how are my friends at the ticket?
Doing great, my man. Doing great. Johnny,
that's awesome.
Johnny, thank you for the tickets. Thank you for the support. Johnny, you had a chance. You were out in Northwestern when the women played Northwestern and the sweep. Obviously, ruled them in the first 2 games. They got tired, but they still beat them 3-0 in the final game on Monday. What was the environment like in Northwestern last week?
Well, it was great. Our team is I really feel like we're peaking, and I think for them, postseason in their minds has already started. It's time to make a real push. We still got a chance to maybe even get into that hosting a regional. We have to kind of get on a heater here, but I think we're definitely capable of doing that. But in Northwestern, all the pieces kind of came together. Jordy was Jordy. Effective is the best I've seen her. She's an incredible player. Mm-hmm. And literally, if the listeners haven't seen her play, they're really missing out. I mean, this is the best player in college softball this year, and maybe for the last few years. She can hit, she can pitch, she can run bases. She impacts the game in every single way. So it's like watching the Heisman Trophy winner.
I was going to say Nick Sainer play baseball, but same thing.
Go ahead, you guys.
So, so she was at her best. It was fun to watch. Kylie McGee had a pitched game 2 and better every outing. Mm-hmm. The bats were strong. So yeah, team's fun to watch.
John, I'll bring this up. Like Nebraska utilized the portal quite a bit last year, right? With the Camazin sisters and with other players that are playing some valuable parts, right? Like, and it feels like there's this blend. I mean, you could even somewhat categorize Jordy in that conversation just because she had to sit out basically all of last year, other than a couple of innings that she was able to pitch in the first game. But when it's all said and done, they found a really good way to just blend. I mean, and obviously you have a unique perspective on it with your daughter playing, but I mean, just talk about their ability to come in, the locker room changes with some big additions and players that are actually playing some meaningful roles, and they've kind of looked seamless for most of the season.
Yeah, there's a lot to that. That's a great question, but there's a lot to that. There was a large group that graduated last year with that had played a lot of games, and there were some holes to fill and some roster spots to add. And along with the freshmen that came in, the portal was really good to Nebraska. And I would say 1890 and NIL really was a part of that. And I think everybody's very appreciative of, the donations people have made to softball. It's made a huge difference to bring in great talent. And it's funny because a lot of the kids that joined the team through the portal were Nebraska kids.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these girls have known each other since they're 14 years old and played with or against each other. And now they've kind of just, for whatever reason, call it fate, they've ended up in the same place at the same time, and they're putting a great season together. So you alluded to the transfers, and the three Arkansas girls, which would be the Camazine twins and Casey Hoffman. They're all three of them are having a huge impact on this season. Ava Kusek, our shortstop, has Nebraska ties. I think a lot of her family came from the Loop City area, but she's from Colorado and played some club ball with a lot of these kids. And so she's leading the team in home runs and has made a huge impact on the team. Kylie McGee is a pitcher. She's from Arizona State. She's coming off an injury, but man, every time she's pitched here recently, she's been better and better. So you add Jordy and Kylie and Camazine and Emerson Cup. We have a pitching staff that is really good, and I don't want to miss anybody. But you're right. The transfer portal and the NIL has been a little bit of part of that to be able to, make sure they can afford to come here, because it's softball only gets 12.5 scholarships, so we have a roster of 25. So made a huge difference.
I think that's an important piece to know. I was going to ask you about the Nebraska connection, but I want to talk about the pitching staff a little bit more, because that feels like something that Nebraska has been missing the last couple of years. And whether it's been because they just haven't been able to go get a second arm, but I'm thinking all the way back to even before Abby started playing, like they just missed a second arm. But now, like, I remember, obviously, like Kaylin Kinney, she just got injured, right? I think she dealt with a foot injury a couple of years ago that kept her out. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, like, Nebraska has the arms, but then they also have the offensive ability to be able to outscore opponents if they find themselves. I mean, shoot, John, you know how it is. You've seen a lot of ball where it's some games your arms in the circle just don't have it, and you need your offense to be able to score close to double digits.
Yep, you're exactly right. I mean, we've won 1-0 games. We've lost. Early in the season, coming right out of the gate, we had a really tough schedule, and we lost a couple 1-run games that I want to say 1-0 or 2-1, something like that. I don't remember exactly. And our pitchers were kind of pulling the boat a little bit, and then at times now this year, our bats have been incredible. We've already set a team record for home runs and runs scored, and the number of, I don't even know the exact number, but it seems like
it's a lot.
84 home runs.
We win, we're run rolling people. So
you're right.
Yeah, this is the most talented roster by, I think, a long ways, and I think the most important thing is going back to your first question that I didn't answer, the chemistry on this team is elite. I mean, the character of the girls and the way they get along and care for each other and just really cheer for each other's success, whether they're in the lineup or not. That's what's going to push them even farther this year. And I really think we're going to be a hard out in the NCAA tournament. I'm really hoping that we can secure a host and maybe go to sweep Indiana this weekend and go to Washington and win that series, and then all bets are off. I think we got a chance to do whatever we want.
John, before we let you go, this is the last go around for you, man. How has this season been for you as a parent watching Abby?
You know, it's been a hoot. A lot of emotions. I would say coming off an injury in a redshirt season, we didn't know if we'd already seen her play her last game.
Yeah.
So just the fact that she got back and she's really had a great season. She hit 7 home runs and doing great. But I think the most fun for her and us at this point is just seeing the team do so well. And the kids love each other, and really the parents group is really tight. And I think I think we're going out on a high note, and that's the most fun part for us. You know, it's at some point your career comes to an end, and it's time for the next chapter, and that's probably going to be the case here. But I hope they get a go out on top.
Johnny, I tell you what, man, it's been, like I said, we've been neighbors for 20 plus years now, almost, and seeing Abby in the backyard all those times, just working on her craft, you guys traveling all over the place, you know, seeing you guys leave on last week to head out to Chicago and coming back, man, it's going to be it's been an amazing number of chapters to watch the evolution of Abby Squires, not just from the little girl that would be, you know, blowing her hair out of her face because her little ponytail would come down, or she'd get, you know, blocked off our side landscape fence back in the yard, and she'd get back up and she'd keep playing with the guys.
It's so funny. Some of the stories we can tell about the backyard ball games is awesome. It's
absolutely,
fun. Yeah,
man.
It's been a ride.
It's been a ride.
Sure. All those kids, like, you know, it doesn't matter what sport you're talking about. If you're playing for the Huskers and in any sport, men's or women's, it isn't for sissies.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of sacrifice, and there's huge highs and there's some pretty huge lows at times. And so I'm proud of her and for her accomplishments on the field and in the classroom. And I think they're set to, all of them, and her included, are set to be really successful adults. So it's a hoot. It's just a hoot. And I'm telling you right now, there's not a better place to be a student athlete than the University of Nebraska.
Well, folks, you heard it. Johnny, I appreciate you. Before we let you go, unknown texter 2526 says, top-notch family, every single one of them. We love Coach Squire, and it's been a fun watching Abby play. Big bro, love you, appreciate you. We'll see you this evening or this weekend, man.
Awesome.
All right.
Maybe we'll talk about a sweep next week, huh?
Absolutely.
There you go. So 84 home runs is what they've hit this year.
Yeah.
In 42 games. They're on the pace to hit 150 games. That's unbelievable. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Their program record before, by the way, was 76. So that was their program record in a single season. Wow.
Yeah. They hitting the ball right there.
All right, we'll throw it a break. It's the Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Oh, the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget, with great rates and top-notch customer. We're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Owned Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village. Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Cloudy, breezy, and cool here for our Friday. We're only going to manage 57 for a high temperature, but with north wind gusts up around 30 miles an hour, it's going to make it feel that much cooler here today. Tonight, we're going to stay mostly cloudy down to 38 for a low. For Saturday, sunshine, a high of 62 before we bring in some rain on Easter Sunday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball. Early break.
Wrap.
What do you have?
Oh yeah, good. When someone orders a wrap, I want to come across the table.
Oh, wrap.
What do you guys have? What's your best wrap?
No.
What's your
so
was that buffalo chicken? That's incredible. Yeah.
When you say I want to get, I'm going to stop where they have great wraps. I want to throw a punch.
Here's one too that I encountered
with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Friday. It's a little chilly out. Warm up. Come on, Nebraska. Lincoln. Now.
Well, folks, it is definitely a little chilly outside, but I tell you, somebody who can take care of a lot of things in case there's some damage to your vehicle, your home, or something else of that nature. That is Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. He has been a well-respected rep since 1999. Can help protect your home, your vehicle, your family, or even your future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit one of his 2 locations in Seward, Lincoln, and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you. You know, there was a few that tornado touchdown in Omaha at Epley last night, and I think there was hail-sized damage. I think for some folks I know up in Omaha busted their windows out of their home. So there was some serious weather going on.
Yeah, they got kind of an ominous cloud that was just, West Lincoln there for a little bit.
Just hovering for a while. Just hovering for a while.
Crazy weather.
Gentlemen, portal news. Nico, it seems, has found a home.
Yay.
Gentlemen, your opinions on that. He leaves Tennessee where he's guaranteed he's making $2.4 million, $2.2 million. That is the bottom. There's all sorts of numbers, of course, that are out there, what he's getting at UCLA. And it said it wasn't about money. It was about strategy.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask each one of you this, and to each their own. I'm just going to start with myself. I'm not taking $1.5 million pay cut for strategy. That's just me. Raffy, what's your side and side on it?
Well, I guess I'm not taking the pay cut, not taking the California taxes, not taking the drop in from 90,000 to about 15,000 a game or 20,000 a game at UCLA. I'm not taking that you were in the playoffs the year prior and now you're going to a team that probably is not going to be a playoff contender. You've kind of took not a lot of positives in that, I guess I'd say. And UCLA lost their offense coordinator. So
they brought in a new one though, Tino Sunseri from Indiana, which had a pretty good offense last year though.
Yeah. So I don't know. They'll say what they want, so I guess you just go what they say.
AG, what would you in this situation, man? Do you take that cut? I mean, obviously there's a lot of things, a lot of ways to go in this. It might be used as a study lesson later on in the next 2 or 3 years regarding the NIL and the portal, etc. What's your thoughts on it, man?
Your Mike, AG.
Yeah, it's a learning lesson. He's definitely going to learn from this and move on. This is a good offer from what he, coming out of Tennessee. At least somebody offered him, regardless of who they were, where they are, and what the previous year looked for UCLA. This is good. So this is a stop for him where he could go out there and still have opportunity to produce football. And so from here, he can learn. His parents as well, his dad can learn from this process and what happened with Tennessee and learn how to do business better, because this is all business now. And so when you go into a negotiation or you try to counter or even talk into year one of a deal, now you can't come in, trying to ask for everything. So he learned that in dealing with Josh Heupel in Tennessee. I mean, it was just principalities. It was just you're already in a deal. You're going to make close to $10 million in 4 years, and you kind of come and try to triple that or double that with asking for the $4 million. So lesson learned. So now with UCLA's new offensive coordinator, like mentioned, and Deshaun Foster as their head coach, so it's going to be interesting to see where this team could go. Their talent is there. They just have to bring it all together. They're a new, still a growing organization with Deshaun Foster coming in as the head coach. So, but like I've always mentioned, USC, UCLA, trust me, they're not short on talent. The whole state of California will help them with that. So they'll be able to have receivers, running backs, tight ends for him to throw to. And it's going to be interesting come this year. It may not happen this year, but it might be the next year because he's a redshirt junior now. if I'm correct.
He's a sophomore next year.
Or he'll be a sophomore, redshirt sophomore. So he has a couple years to develop here, and it'll be, being out in Cali and being UCLA, I think that'll be a good spot to do that, because he's going to be in a place where they're going to get a lot of TV coverage in city and out, out on Fox and all that stuff. So that's going to help him, I say fix everything that was the damage here caused by this, a posturing mishap in the negotiating process with him and his dad in Tennessee. So now he can bounce back. I'll say for him as a player and as a student, I'll say, hey, let me sign this paperwork as soon as possible so I can get and know my team, my new teammates, get used to my new city, so I can kind of put this behind me right away, because I want to play football. I want to get, indoctrinated into the LA area to understand what I got to do as a player in terms of knowing my teammates to go out here and play ball the best way I can. And that's if I'm Nico, that's my mindset, trying to get out, get this behind me, and get going to play some football and get into school.
It's interesting, guys, because you do look at the just go off the reason that they gave us, Nico's family, that is, for moving on, and it's for his development. I actually agree that he needed to have a different type of offense. If you look at Josh Heupel, the type of offense that he runs, it's really good for a polished quarterback. It relies on tempo. It relies on numbers. You don't have to think a whole lot as a quarterback. It's get the ball out quickly. But then also one thing that they were going to be doing, I've done a lot of reading on this. One thing that they were going to be doing in Tennessee was start to run a lot more. Last year, Nico Iamaleava had 109 carries as a quarterback. UCLA came nowhere close to that with their guy last year. And while they're going to probably implement pieces of a new offense, like you always make adjustments and changes off season to season, is ultimately, when it's all said and done, what Nico truly needed coming into high school, he was a raw quarterback with elite tools. That's the kind of the perfect way to describe him. He was a raw quarterback with elite tools, to where he still needed that development despite being a 5-star. I mean, we look at Dylan Raiola, you still need pieces of that development. And so when it's all said and done, if he's not in a situation to where, put the money aside, because I do believe that was the main driver, but put the money aside, maybe when you do look a little deeper at it, this is actually a good move for Nico to get out of Tennessee. I'm not, obviously we don't know about UCLA and what it's going to look like there, but ultimately when it's all said and done, talking about what is going to be able to transition him and get him ready for the NFL, if he's in Tennessee's offense for 4 seasons and he doesn't feel or doesn't appear to be developed as much as he could have, then guess what? It's still going to be a raw quarterback with elite tools in the NFL. Now we're talking about how can these coaches at UCLA now, or wherever he ends up and finishes his career, how can they develop him to be NFL ready? Because AG, guys, this, there's a difference between an NFL team being able to draft you and you being ready, other than, okay, we're going to draft you and you're going to be a 2-year project, because a lot of times the luster, the stars, the excitement of a guy will start to wear off after about a season and a half if they're not showing promise or progression.
Yeah, and you don't want to be a late round pick either, because it's going to be a little bit tougher.
I got the big question of the day. Do we get a Friday night matchup, Dylan versus Nico, with Gus Johnson on the call?
Potential.
It'd be something. Before we go to break here real fast, unknown texter 1562, good morning, goes, I am not hearing enough about people talking about the real winner and all of this. Heupel put his foot down and stand on principle and integrity. We need more of that in this world today. Instead, we keep giving publicity to this entitled kid and his dad. I would say this. Yes, there is a lot of publicity because it's news. So we're going to share it. It's news. But I do agree with you, unknown texter 1562, that I think it's yet to be determined on what will transpire with Nico there in UCLA. To Nick's point, you mentioned 102 carries last year. That is an awful lot for a running back as far as that goes at times. But we will see what happens. But with Heupel, yeah, I'm with you on that. He's like, you know what?
Urban said he made a mistake, though.
Yeah, Urban, yeah. So opinions will be all over the place, because Urban's like, well, we'll see when they play a team called Florida later this year, so that'll be seen. But to your point, I understand where you're coming from. He didn't bend, he didn't break, because I think when you do that, you let a guy make the decision and bargain right before the spring game, and you set a very bad precedent going in. But as we all mentioned, this is a very different landscape of college sports. However, to your point, I do agree with you that Heupel did what was best for his program. I'm not saying that's the best for all programs, but he felt that was best for his. And what Nico does at UCLA will yet to be determined. We'll see what goes on there. And there is a lot of money potential to earn out in California,
True.
off the field as far as that goes. So that's also a factor to consider there. Folks, when we come back, we got some history, and we will keep the show rolling. It's The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Join Nebraska softball for another action-packed weekend on April 18th and 19th as they face Indiana at Bowlin Stadium. The top 25 ranked Huskers are hot and ready to show off their dominance in the Big Ten during this two-game series. Plus, Saturday is Kids Day. There will be family activities throughout the game and an egg hunt with the team after the final out. You won't want to miss this weekend at the ballpark, April 18th and 19th. For event and ticket information, head to huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion, for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Spring has arrived, the temperatures are rising, and it's time to get your equipment ready for the season. Landmark Implement has high-quality used John Deere planters, sprayers, and tractors, priced to move and ready to work for you. Take advantage of unbeatable deals and flexible financing to upgrade your operation without stretching your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or browse our full inventory online at landmarkimp.com. Before these deals are done, experience the Landmark difference.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more. Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
League One Volleyball just wrapped up its first season in Omaha. The team returned home as league runners-up thanks to Olympic medalists and former Huskers Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes. Stay on the lookout for more action from more former Huskers, including Lexi Rodriguez, Lauren Stiffrens, and Maddie Cubic Banks in year 2. You can renew your season tickets or secure your seats for the first time by visiting lovboma.com. Don't miss your chance to watch even more Olympians, national champions, and former Huskers take the court for Love Volleyball Omaha in 2025. Volleyball is the next major league.
Hey, what are you talking about over there?
Huh?
I said, what are you talking about?
You know, Bill, I think it's time for both of us to get our hearing checked. We should head over to Christensen Hearing Analytics.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about them. They offer a free hearing consultation and screening, affordable hearing aid prices, and a knowledgeable staff with over 30 years of experience.
Visit Christensen Hearing Analytics today in Williamsburg Village or give them a call at 402-489-3450. Christensen Hearing Analytics. A better life starts with better hearing.
The Husker games are coming soon. Do you know your tailgate meal for before and after the events? Führer's Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate something for all Nebraskans made in Nebraska. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you tailgate without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's Cheese Spread. No party or tailgate is complete without it.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Friday, wrapping up another week. History time. History.
Raff, you started off, man. What you got, brother, man?
Well, I got some sad history. I know it's Friday, but some sad history. 29 years ago today, Brooke Behringer passed away.
Yeah.
29. That is crazy.
That was actually the one I was going to go to. It's good in that you shared that, because I was fortunate last week to have coffee with Chris Bubak.
Okay.
He's the regional director for FCA Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and I hadn't seen Chris in a while, just via text, but we were able to have coffee last week. Me and Chris, AG, you remember this too, when you're walking outside of the Hewitt, you remember Dennis and Keith's office used to be at that sitting area, that lounging area they used to have in that hallway?
Yeah. Yep.
Me and Chris Bubak were sitting right in those benches and those chairs talking, and Brooke was literally leaving to go hop on that plane that afternoon, because that evening was the FCA banquet at the Bob. And me and Chris were talking. Brooke stopped by. We rapped for a little bit. Yeah, man, I'm about to go flying. And, we didn't have cell phones and all the rest of that crap then. I mean, pagers, that was about it. And I'll never forget, man, getting that call. And it just, things went crazy after that. Coach Osborne got the call. He had, of course, made that horrible call to Jan Missberry. It was just that day. Me and Chris were sitting there talking last week, man. It was like, dude, that has been all those years ago, but it seems like it wasn't that long ago. And then we still had the FCA banquet that night. It was a brutally beautiful event. I'll say that. It was brutally beautiful, because one thing that Coach Osborne said, I know Brooke would want this thing to continue. Yep. And Coach Brown spearheaded. It was an amazing but brutally beautiful night. But yeah, man, all those years ago, Brooke.
Well, I heard a story. This probably been about a year now. It's kind of bittersweet, but it was pretty cool at the same time. remember when it happened afterwards, Sawyer Brown came out with the song, the Nebraska song. And it was, I came up from Goodland, Kansas. Well, I had went thinking that he had wrote that song after Brooke had passed away. But actually what had happened was Sawyer Brown was going to make a surprise appearance at the national championship celebration.
I think Brooke played with him.
Well, at a concert in the previous summer when he'd seen him. But the plan was Mark Miller, the Sawyer Brown lead singer, was going to sing that song at the national championship celebration if things wouldn't have went awry the way it did. However, what did he say? 3 days beforehand, before this was all supposed to take place, because Brooke was going to pick him up in Omaha, bring him down, and he was going to sing the song. Brooke convinced him to sing the song to him. So Brooke actually did hear the Nebraska song before he passed away.
Wow.
Interesting. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, well, that was something, man. That was something. That was definitely something.
What you got, AG?
Yeah, I got, excuse me. I got back on April 18th, 31 years ago, 1994, we had Super Nintendo, Super Metroid hit the shelves. So you take on the Legion of Space Pirates and a new Metroid force as you forge into the covert underworld of planet Zebes. It's up to you and Samus, who is the Metroid, to recapture the long-living Metroid hatchling before evil hands unleash its energy, and an army of omnivorous creatures are poised for battle to add every turn of Zeb twist, threatening pathways, and more. So there you go. This was, I believe it was on Super Nintendo, and it was on the Game Boy as well, if y'all remember.
Sounds real complex, I'll be honest.
No, it wasn't complex. It was a simple game. It was only, remember, on the Super Nintendo had actually a little bit more buttons than the Nintendo. So the Nintendo had D-pad, select, start, and AB. They had, 5 buttons. Super Nintendo probably had 8 buttons. That's it. Very real easy. Better graphics, I'll say that. A lot better graphics than the original Metroid, and when it came out on Nintendo. So
you look at them old school games. At that time, that was high tech compared to now. Gosh.
Well, I remember like the Atari 2600, and then Intellivision came out, and it was like, wow, this is a brand new world.
Right.
Well, before we go to break, IQ Crew number 18 to this day is in my heart. He was drafted by Denver. He definitely was, man. Folks, we're going to keep this on time because we got to schedule a really tight one day because we have a guest coming in, very prominent guest as far as that goes as well. So we'll be right back, folks. It's The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Cloudy, breezy, and cool here for our Friday. We're only going to manage 57 for a high temperature, but with north wind gusts up around 30 miles an hour, it's going to make it feel that much cooler here today. Tonight, we're going to stay mostly cloudy, down to 38 for a low. For Saturday, sunshine, a high of 62 before we bring in some rain on Easter Sunday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and my schedule can get a little hectic. From softball practices to going to class, traveling for games, spending time with family, and catching up with friends, I am always on the go. I want a bank that can help me from anywhere, but also be there when I need them. That's Midwest Bank. They have the same mobile banking technology as those big banks, but have that hometown feel that I like every time I walk through the doors. They make banking easy no matter where I am. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's becoming a wild ride in the car market these days, but Koppel wants to let you know and assure you that we are staying the course with our usual pricing model. We've still got huge discounts and low interest rates, so let's get after it. We've got over $12,500 off list price or 0% APR right now on select new vehicles. New and pre-owned, our lots are full, so now's the time to buy. Please stop on in the dealership or check us out at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G187747. All deals with roof credit.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
League One Volleyball just wrapped up its first season in Omaha. The team returned home as league runners-up thanks to Olympic medalists and former Huskers Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes. Stay on the lookout for more action from more former Huskers, including Lexi Rodriguez, Lauren Stiffrins, and Maddie Kubik-Banks in year 2. You can renew your season tickets or secure your seats for the first time by visiting lovboma.com. Don't miss your chance to watch even more Olympians, national champions, and former Huskers take the court for Love Volleyball Omaha in 2025. Volleyball is the next major league.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Welcome to The Drive with A.D. Raff and Ahman Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history. 13-0 and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Ahman Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, everybody, we're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket, proudly sponsored by Doors Plus. If your garage door needs maintenance, you need an entirely new garage door, give Cameron Hall and his team a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus is locally owned and handles everything from residential or commercial garage doors, garage door openers, safety tune-ups, or custom design. Visit doorsplusllc.com to learn more. Doors Plus, garage doors, and
more. So what's the big secret everybody laughing about?
Nothing.
Yeah, what's the secret?
Hey, the Key and Peele. My name is Mr. Garvey. I used to work at Detroit Public Schools. The
Substitute teacher, Mr. Garvey.
Man. Yes, folks, if you have not seen,
please do.
Most people have, I'm sure. But if you have not seen Key and Peele's substitute teacher skit,
yes, it's the best. It's one of the best.
Yes, and my kids actually got me before I'd even seen it. They kept calling me Ron. I was like, "What are you guys talking about?"
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, not my kids, buddy.
D Nice.
Yeah, D Nice.
Block A. What's up? Block A. Block A. Block A.
Do you mean Blake?
Blake?
Mr. O'Shaughnessy.
D Nice. D Nice. Don't you mean Denise? Denise.
Yeah. I swear, if one of you say some silly
one more time, the foolishness, insubordinate.
And damn right disrespectful.
I'm from the inner city of Detroit, Michigan.
It's incredible.
That's awesome.
Have you guys seen, speaking of Key and Peele, have you guys seen their East-West Shrine Bowl?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, those are the best.
Yeah.
They nailed it. They nailed it.
The best part is that they say their college, Nevada State Penitentiary.
You can't get any better than that because unfortunately, they hit the nail on the head, man. Some of the players' names, I'm like, oh man, this is when I watch a real game. At the first thing that popped in my mind is Key and Peele, East-West Shrine. I was like, they nailed it. They totally nailed it on the head.
Yes, they did.
That's awesome.
Nick, do we have any footage from Butler the other morning?
Well, we have footage from Rule yesterday.
Let's
talk about some of the things. He talked a lot about Jack McAllister, and it kind of played into the fact of what we expected of Nebraska switching the style of punter that they use. Mike Eckler really wants to do a rugby style kick, just because the rules in college that you can have guys cross the line of scrimmage before the ball is kicked, and it creates an advantage. And Matt Rule somewhat talked about that with the way that Memorial Stadium plays. We know the way the wind is kind of involved and is a factor in Memorial Stadium. It swirls a lot, and then on top of that is just Nebraska could use a little extra help in the special teams game. Let's go ahead and do this. We did know and find out that guess what? There's going to be some live aspect of football on Saturday. For whatever reason you want to infer on why they change it and why they make some things happen like that, leave it to your own imagination, I suppose. I will say this, and this is, I don't want to come across as too publicly critical, but nobody has a clue of what's happening next Saturday.
Is it our job to know?
Well, as a fan, if I'm buying a ticket,
kind of have an idea.
I kind of have an so for the
J4, I think we just feel like we should know, and it's not really our job to know.
No, because I'm passionate about this of we don't need to know all these details, right? But
right.
From a fan standpoint, if you're asking people to buy tickets and to show up, have some sort of an idea of like, what am I buying a ticket for?
Equipment sale.
There's an equipment sale. We know that.
They
we know
said that.
There's,
So there
we
you
know
go.
that there's other Husker sporting events going on. And now we know about live football. But from an overall standpoint, like they released a couple of weeks ago that Jay Foreman and Will Compton are going to be captains. Of what?
Oh, they doing like the Pro Bowl. That was
Okay.
Eli Manning and Peyton Manning. They were the coaches.
Okay.
And I called it. Didn't I call that? Didn't I call that like 2 months ago when they said they wasn't doing a spring game? I said this is going to be basically the Pro Bowl game. They're giving you the hint by giving Jay and who's the player? I forgot.
Will Compton.
Will Compton as the coaches for offense, defense, or red white. Or red white. That's it. Basically,
AG, you must know stuff that we don't know. Then
I mean, but it's not. No, it's just common sense. Like, just look at what the NFL did, and look what NIL and all that. It's the NFL. So just take another page out of NFL book. Let's do our spring game like the NFL does it. Play flag football. Let's have lineman games where they're tug of warring and sled pushing. Let's do wide receiver amazing catches, stuff like that, which is be entertaining to the fans. So they're probably not really saying a whole lot about it, but if you just think about it for 1 second, it's like, well, if the NFL did this,
hold on.
Here's what I'll say about it.
I've been thinking about it. I mean, I can promise that. But
here's what I'll say about it before we get to this clip. So I want to make sure we get this clip. I think a lot of schools are just kind of in no man's land of what to do. You want to do something for the fans. You want to make it fun. You got guys that are going to be most likely that are playing for a position to make that 105.
I love the idea of the scrimmage.
Yeah, because like I told you yesterday, it's Farrell's has this thing called last chance workout.
Yep.
And it's like before you hit that number, it's your last chance. For some of these kids out there, that is something we do know.
Yeah.
Some of these young men, this might be their last chance, their last live action in front of us, in front of a somewhat crowd. Yeah. And I don't know what numbers are going to be. I'm not even going to try to guess what the numbers would be for that. I'm just not going to. Yeah. But I would say this. For live action, might be the last hurrah for some of those guys to get a chance what they can do.
Well, I was also saying yesterday, from a physical type brand of football that usually you do not see at the spring game ever. I mean, usually it's very vanilla and it's very, kind of patty cakes. It's been that way for like the last 5-10 years. You're going to get a scrimmage here where you, like you said, you got players that are possibly playing for position. The last chance playing in front of these coaches, a chance to put tape out to go maybe to another school. So I think you're going to see something competitive just out of the scrimmage. I think it was a great idea by them because at the end of the day, I think back to the good old days when it'd get to the end of the game and what was it, the 30 for 30 rule or whatever. How many people were in the crowd when you walked out there?
I had to change my outfit sometimes, man. I had to change back my uniform. There were still a lot of people.
It was still packed.
It was still packed, man.
It has. So I'm glad that they came up with something of the real football variety. As much as I'll be like the 7-on-7. If John Elway's playing or Brett Favre's playing, or I would pay money for that. But I don't know if I can bring myself to watch Will Compton play flag football.
He's not playing. He's coaching.
Yeah,
they'll bring something creative.
Yeah, he's not coaching. He's not running around.
What does Rule got here, man?
Okay. Let's just start with this one on how did Matt Rule decide to play? How did he decide to play live football this Saturday or next Saturday, the 26th?
Prayer. Not praying about what should I do with the 105, but just, I'm my dad's a minister. I ain't the best Christian in the world.
Okay, let me make sure we got the right clip here.
Did he just say I'm not the best Christian in the world?
Let's just move on. Let's go. This is the team I've been waiting for. Here's
in terms of
amen.
Not why do we have to go? No, not everybody. I'm saying like this is the team where when you have a fourth-year guy who started in the SEC, you've got Emmett Johnson who's a starting tailback, and let's be quite honest, like if they were to get injured, they have a lot to lose, right? But they love to compete, and they understand that when you play football, there's an inherent risk. And that's why, in the NFL, they have preseason games. Think about that. You have a $270 million roster. You have $50 million quarterbacks, and you still put them out there for preseason games because you have to make a decision. Do I want to be healthy or do I want to be good? And most injuries actually happen just like shuffling and the guy's knee buckles, right? So, but when you have players that like to play, like I don't have guys saying like, I blow the whistle up there. Hey, coach, can we run that back? Can we do it again? This is the first time like the offense fumbled today in a competitive period, and I wouldn't let the black offense go back out. And they, Dylan's in my ear. I'm like, well, the only way to punish you guys is to not let you play, as opposed to make them go again. And it's completely different. But it's your 3, right? It's completely different, and it has nothing to do with me. It's the guys. They like to compete. Like that guy back there, Justin. Like, if someone called me and said, hey, there's a problem at the house, I'm calling Justin Evans. I'm telling you. He's moved to center now. He should be up for everything, every award. I mean, he's a tough guy, right? Smart. But he's not the outlier. There's a ton of them. And it's been really good. So when I say that, I'm just like, I want to be on the practice field. If you come to a practice and you hear me yelling and screaming, I kind of sit there and talk to Susan, talk to Hay. I mean, we got what we got going. And so they love the practice and they're competing at a high level. So I'm happy about them in terms of that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think you have it there. I mean, Nebraska, just as from a standpoint, I don't think next Saturday we're probably going to see a lot of Dylan Raiola. I don't think we're going to see a lot of Emmett Johnson.
Are you not seeing any of that?
Right.
You're not going to see any of that.
Yeah. So, well, I wasn't trying to put an absolute on it.
No.
But go ahead.
I will.
Yeah. So I mean, I think though ultimately when you look at Nebraska though, it's going to be. He didn't specifically say that the guys that are going to be active next year or next week are going to only be the ones that are battling for the 105. Like it's not going to be that type of scrimmage, but I'm sure he was more so in the camp of these guys don't get a great chance a lot of time to put scrimmage film together. So let's go ahead and give them that opportunity. That's the way that Matt Rule phrased it. So I think that's the way we need to phrase it too. It's not like, okay, in one-on-one drills during the scrimmage, this guy, guy number A or guy A beat guy B. That means guy B is going to be cut tomorrow. Like it's not, I don't think it's that cutthroat. But sure, I think they're going to be looking at things like that. But the way that Matt Rule phrased it, the way we can, objectively phrase it is that how they're going to have this is going to be an opportunity for some of those guys that are lower on the depth chart to gain practice film if they do decide to move on from Nebraska.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm looking forward to see what transpires that day, man. Like I said, they're going to do the best they can to make it a great fan experience. And the reality is this: it's not like the old days. Those days are done, unfortunately. Those days are done.
I'm just a little bit of football, and that's for me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, at bare minimum, it should at least get the players that didn't get a whole lot of in-season snaps. So that's where you put in a spring game or spring practices to get those younger players more reps. Guys that had limited or no carries or no plays, offense, defense, special team wise, get them out there, because obviously we need your best. When you have your best roster, when you have players that could come in and replace the guy who is a starter, basically, and when you don't have guys that are unproven and that don't have, coaches don't have the confidence in them because they haven't seen them play, right? So this is that opportunity for those players and then the coaches, obviously, to get those players in those positions to get out there and get reps so they can learn the plays, learn the scheme, see how whatever their point of view is from offense to defense, will be for them and how they're going to react to those plays. Because obviously, if you go out there and you have no experience of live action going 100 miles per hour against your defense just in spring ball, what you think is going to happen during the release season when they start the season against a Big Ten team or against our out of conference games? We get like Akron or something. How we don't know, because if you don't get the reps now in spring ball, then or even in fall ball when it comes around, then those younger players that are the backups, they're not. You're not helping them develop. You're going to be struggling to find who's going to replace Emmett if Emmett goes down, and you don't want that. You don't want that as a coach. So that's where this part right here of college football is huge, to make sure the younger players get their experience.
Well, folks, before we go to break, Garage Jeff, good morning. Goes, I think you will absolutely see limited plays from some of the stars like Raiola. There would be a lot of heat from fans. If not, we will see. Raff, go ahead, man. Take it away.
I'll take the unders.
Take the unders.
All right. We'll go to break. This is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
League One Volleyball just wrapped up its first season in Omaha. The team returned home as league runners-up thanks to Olympic medalists and former Huskers Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes. Stay on the lookout for more action from more former Huskers, including Lexi Rodriguez, Lauren Stiffrens, and Maddie Kubik-Banks in year 2. You can renew your season tickets or secure your seats for the first time by visiting lovboma.com. Don't miss your chance to watch even more Olympians, national champions, and former Huskers take the court for Love Volleyball Omaha in 2025. Volleyball is the next major league.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Spring has arrived. The temperatures are rising, and it's time to get your equipment ready for the season. Landmark Implement has high-quality used John Deere planters, sprayers, and tractors, priced to move and ready to work for you. Take advantage of unbeatable deals and flexible financing to upgrade your operation without stretching your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or browse our full inventory online at landmarkimp.com. Before these deals are done, experience the Landmark difference.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's Sandhills, bagels.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back. This is The Drive.
I mean, seriously,
93.7 The Ticket. We got Nick Sainert with us.
Dude, I have to scream and shout, we're turning the mics on. We're turning them on. And then wait another 5 seconds for them to get their final thoughts out.
Final thoughts.
Before I can then actually turn on the mics.
Well, we're supposed to have
My
a guest
goodness.
at 10:25. That guest
I don't know.
Is not sure what's going on there. But you know what? We do have more clips. We're going to talk about it because I do want to go back on this. So, Raff, I want to get back on this. So, Garage Jeff, good morning again. Jeff says he does think there's going to be some action because he says if not, the fans, we're going to give everybody hell if there's not some action from the Stars. What's your thought on it? I love the different opinions, man.
Yeah.
What's your reason for him not playing those besides the obvious?
Good, but what he said in this press conference, he doesn't want to risk any type of injury or anything like that. So I would assume that you are probably just going to see your lower strings and your and the guys that are competing to make the 105.
That's fair enough.
Because if it was going to be your people, your higher up people, your Raiolas, your Emmett Johnsons and stuff like that, there'd be a real full-fledged spring game going on this upcoming next Saturday.
Interesting thought.
Thank you.
AG, what was you going to say, big dog?
No, I'm just saying, kind of with Raff, like let the younger guys, like guys that haven't had over a certain amount of snaps or no snaps at all, those are the guys should be on the field and getting those reps, live reps, learning the schemes and learning what the coaches want out of them on certain plays, offensively, defensively, special teams. And then what you do with the starters, this is something I was thinking about the other day, for all these universities that are not doing spring games for the same reasons like Matt Rule mentioned in terms of injuries and those reasons, have your starters that started majority of the season be coaches on the sidelines. And then they develop because then they learn the plays from a different way. Just like what the coaches got how to learn the plays without running the plays, and you got to coach it out. So that's different. So if they learn that aspect as a player now, then I'll prepare them for the regular season because they know plays a little bit differently and they know them a little bit tighter too because they know adjustments to coverages or adjustments to offensive formations. If a tackle is lined up on a DN or a 3 technique a certain way, they know how to coach. They've learned it now, coaching through it, so that'll help them during the regular season. So something like that would be even, I say, a better way to develop the players that are not going to get all the lion's share of carries or plays in a spring game.
Can I bring up this thought also? Speaking of just carries and certain positions, I would like to make a thought that I think Nebraska, we bring up the transfer portal a lot, not to do a pivot like they say in Friends, pivot. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I think one position that we're going to see Nebraska add at, in addition to punter, which we know is going to be a thing, is running back. I think Nebraska is going to add a running back into the fold. I think that Nebraska might like what they have behind Emmett Johnson. I'm not entirely sure where they truly land, though, with some of those guys. I feel like they need to go out and get somebody that truly provides and can provide a 1-2 punch. Emmett does a lot for Nebraska. I think there's also purpose, and AG, maybe you could speak to this as a running back yourself. I think there's purpose in bringing in a guy that could truly contest with him for even the lion's share of the carries.
Well, yeah, it just makes the room better. It's called competition. That's why we play sports. So when you bring the best of the best at every position on the football field, offense, defense, D line, linebackers, then they rise. People, as they say, it's the old adage: the cream rises to the top. Me going in that room my freshman year, knowing Clinton Childs already because we went to high school together, but then knowing what Lawrence had put together his 2-3 years there, and then Damon Benning too, Jay Sims, and then all the fullbacks, Jeff Joe McAvicker, Brian Schuster, Todd Euler. I was just like, I had been in that environment since I was in little league because being out in California, very competitive area when I was 8, right? I'm playing against future Bruins and Trojans and NFL players, actually NBA players that were on my little league teams out in California. So for me, when I got in that room, I wasn't in uncomfortable territory. I was comfortable being around the best because, hey, if I get beat out, I get beat out, but the best man is out there for our team starting. So that's the mindset that a lot of players probably, it's different. I had that mindset. And so hopefully if they can have that mindset as a player, because like you said, you got guys behind you and you all supporting each other. So you should be able to have that mindset of, the best player playing right now. So I got to do better. I got to work hard, watch more film, do something. And that's where we can find out in the spring game who can be that number 2 guy behind him, because they're going to push themselves through that competition that is it has to be in that room. If you don't have competition in the room, then you shouldn't be out there playing your sport, because competition is what drives people.
I think there's competition in that room. I look around and I go, okay, is there anybody in the portal that Nebraska could add that would immediately do that? And there is. I mean, we know it. Charmar Brown from North Dakota State is somebody that I'm thinking about. And this is not me putting I don't do crystal balls or whatever they call it. I don't do the prediction thing, but I would look at him as a guy that Nebraska would really like. He's built a little bit differently than Emmett Johnson. He rushed for over 1,500 yards last year. As a freshman, he won basically it was the award that's given to the best freshman in FCS across all positions across the entire FCS landscape. He won the award for the best freshman, and so had 15 rushing touchdowns. A little bit more of a physical, right? Emmett provides that physicality, but from just a weight standpoint, Charmar Brown is a little bit bigger, thicker than maybe Emmett, runs a little bit differently. I would equate him to a Dante Dowdell, just a little sharper in terms of what he can do from his vision and things like that. He has a connection to this coaching staff from back when he visited Nebraska in 2022. Like there's connections here, and then you throw in the fact that he played high school ball at Creighton Prep. I look at that as somebody that if Emmett Johnson can have a good year, you talk about transitions. Like this is somewhere where I think that a guy like Charmar Brown from North Dakota State would do a really good job as kind of supplementing Emmett Johnson and his carries and finding a good happy medium between those guys.
You look at this running back room. Obviously, some of these guys are hybrid backs as well. You look at Janarian Bonner, Connor Booth, Makai Nelson, Rowdy Bauer, Trent Euler, obviously our buddy Todd's son, Isaac Dickey, redshirt freshman. Quit Knives, of course, is the one you most likely that they jump at you as to spell an Emmett Johnson, and the Kenneth Owens. And to your point, Nick and AG, I mean, there's a lot of youth in that running backs room. Well, there's not a lot of guys with a lot of carries.
I would say there's a lot of depth.
Yeah, definitely depth. I see that there.
I look at that as
you look at freshman, redshirt freshman.
Yes.
So that's what I mean by the youth part of it.
There's definitely, I mean, certainly there's youth. I think I look more at it of like, okay, who are guys? You can look at a depth chart just naturally, especially in college football. And this is not me being harsh by any means. It might come across that way. But being honest with everybody is like you can look at guys and go, okay, do you envision them playing an Emmett Johnson type of role? Do you envision them actually being able to contribute consistently on Saturdays? Most of the time, right? The writing's kind of on the wall for a lot of those guys. And I think ultimately when you look at it is in that room, there aren't a lot of names that say, that the answer wouldn't be, oh, I'm surprised that he's been contributing the way he has. And so through that, I think like Emmett Johnson, certainly number one. And I think whoever Nebraska brings in, I think EJ is the dude. Number two is Quentin Ives has had limited reps in game. And when it's been there just hasn't been a whole lot of excitement or promise or like, okay, this is what he can physically take it on. We just haven't seen that yet. And so through this portal, as the spring window is now open, I think just from an observer and a consumer, you look at it and go, how do you feel about the guys that are in that room? Sure, there's guys that can always pop up, right? But ultimately, Nebraska now, Matt Rule said it yesterday, you're in year 3. Like there needs to be, you need to be results driven and not so much of let's just hope and pray that we can find a second guy to supplement Emmett Johnson.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for the room, Nick, I like who's in this room. For the running backs, they got guys, they got size, they got speed, and they have the people. Just got to give them reps. I would love to see Trenton Euler get some burn, right?
And Euler's working out at linebacker. So
he moved over. Oh, okay. We got Ives, we got Isaac Dickey, right? We got Rowdy Bauer. He's a little
He's
small.
working on defensive backs.
So he switched over to DBs, and then we got Nelson. Where's he at? Is he still running back?
Carter Nelson's a tight end.
Not Carter. Mackay, or is it?
He's still there. Nelson, yes, is still.
Okay, and Connor Booth. Right?
Yep, true freshman.
And Janarian Parker. So there's some people in the room. There's a lot of people in the room. So to say to bring somebody in, obviously you want to raise, like I mentioned, you just want to raise the competition room, but also we want to give those guys that definitely have been here and those guys been here and they've been in the playbook already, out on the field, knowing how the practice scheme goes and all that. And so guaranteeing them reps is probably the best bet, because then they already know the way of things in the locker room. They already know each other. Not saying it's a bad thing to bring guys in. It's just that transition of you bring somebody in, they got to now transfer in and process everything, right? Not just the playbook. They got to process their new teammates. They got to process new coaches. They got to process also the playbook as well. So doing something where it's the low hanging fruit. You got guys in the room that want to play. Trust me, they want to get out the field. They just got to learn them plays to make sure they can gain the trust of the coaches to say, hey, I trust this guy out there on this play, coach. We could scrimmage or we could run the plays with him. He could do that if it's any of the younger guys that are out there. So that's where EJ Bartels and his coaching and his development of these running backs, that's where he comes into play to help them get to that point where they can understand they got a lot of inventory with guys already on the roster in the room for the running backs.
And I understand that point of it, but Coach Rowe also, said yesterday that when they're talking about players from Nebraska, it's like I can, try and recruit all the guys from Nebraska who might not be as good, and then I end up getting shown the door. So what I look at it is this: they have people scouring the country. If somebody comes up in the transfer portal and they can add to that running back room, you go after them, because you want to put the best team on the field possible.
Yeah.
They've had an ample time to look at the guys that are in there right now, and I'm telling you, if no one's jumping out. Yeah. In this new age, if there's someone that jumps out, regardless if it's running back, receiver, whatever, if that person's available and you're a little short as far as talent, maybe not bodies, but as far as talent, someone who can spell your starter or split time with your starter, you better go get them. You better go get them, because the last thing you can do is go into the season knowing you had a chance to fill a gap or to have somebody whether it's toting the rock, D-line, O-line, whatever it may be, if that person's available. Because at this point, you know what you have in your room. And if none of them can spell Emmett, whether it's a Rilo or whatever the position is, you're going to be in some trouble come the season. So that's one of the blessings of the portal, if you would, because you can feel an immediate need with someone who may not know your plays, but they they can play. Put it that way. And those are things, like I said, you can teach pretty much. I'm not saying anyone. You can teach them the plays, but it's hard to teach if you don't have the talent, the capability of dispel someone like an Emmett Johnson or Raiola, a backer, whatever it may be, a Sayer Hill, whatever it may be. So,
and the thing too is, like AG would probably agree too, the cream's always going to rise to the top.
Oh yeah.
So even if you go out and you find somebody and somebody in that room's better, that cream will rise to the top.
Well, Dowdell was a perfect example last year.
Yeah, the guys got to get carries though. They got to get plays. And if you're not giving guys plays, simple math, then they're not going to be what you want them to be, because they got to get that experience. So you got to give them, even though spring ball has like been, I'd say, cut down a little bit or whatever it is, give those players that don't have a lot of touches, like a Booth, like a Parker, giving them touches. This is the place for them to get that experience, because come fall camp, it might be limited. And if it is, then this is their time, opportunity to shine. Get them out there and show them what they could do, what they can learn as well.
Folks, we're going to take one more break. When we come back, we got the RGT attitude adjustment and a few more announcements regarding this weekend. I'm really not announcements, just kind of a rundown what is going on around Husker World this weekend. It's The Drive, folks. 93.7 The Ticket.
$93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Cloudy, breezy, and cool here for our Friday. We're only going to manage 57 for a high temperature, but with north wind gusts up around 30 miles an hour, it's going to make it feel that much cooler here today. Tonight, we're going to stay mostly cloudy down to 38 for a low. For Saturday, sunshine, a high of 62 before we bring in some rain on Easter Sunday. I'm meteorologist Aaron Dowden for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
Fleet Feet Lincoln is excited for the upcoming spring season and the warmer temps, and they want you to get outside and be active. Fleet Feet's Fit ID process takes a free 3D image of your feet to help runners and walkers alike find comfortable tennis shoes and inserts that ease pain associated with plantar fasciitis, bunions, and more. Get back on your feet this spring with a trip to Fleet Feet, open 7 days a week at 77th and Pioneers. Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett. Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
League One Volleyball just wrapped up its first season in Omaha. The team returned home as league runners-up thanks to Olympic medalists and former Huskers Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes. Stay on the lookout for more action from more former Huskers, including Lexi Rodriguez, Lauren Stiffrens, and Maddie Cubic Banks in year 2. You can renew your season tickets or secure your seats for the first time by visiting lovboma.com. Don't miss your chance to watch even more Olympians, national champions, and former Huskers take the court for Love Volleyball Omaha in 2025. Volleyball is the next major league. Join Nebraska softball for another action-packed weekend on April 18th and 19th as they face Indiana at Bowlin Stadium. The top 25 ranked Huskers are hot and ready to show off their dominance in the Big Ten during this 2-game series. Plus, Saturday is Kids Day. There will be family activities throughout the game and an egg hunt with the team after the final out. You won't want to miss this weekend at the ballpark, April 18th and 19th. For event and ticket information, head to huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red. The Husker games are coming soon. Do you know your tailgate meal for before and after the events? Führer's Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate something for all Nebraskans made in Nebraska. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you tailgate without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's Cheese Spread. No party or tailgate is complete without it.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raff, and Ahman Gray on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back again. This is The Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome back. Wrapping up another show.
Once again,
chip off the old block, doesn't it?
just like it. Bring back great memories. Anywho.
Great memories, huh, Nick?
It's a Friday.
For some. He showed who he really was right there.
Oh, no. Anywho.
Baseball again this weekend. They got Northwestern Nebraska plays at 6 p.m. tonight.
That's right.
Ladies got Indiana, who is a very good Indiana team, might I add as well. They're like 28-12, 26-12, give or take. So they were not going to be some pushover team. They play as well, so there's going to be a lot of action going down there, just west of the stadium as far as that goes. So check them out, Big Ten Plus. The men will be on that for sure.
You guys subscribe?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
I do.
So last year around July, obviously, when the whole UCLA USC entered into the Big Ten conference, they posted the code. Hey, use code Go Trojans or whatever for a free year of Big Ten Plus. So I'm currently, according to Big Ten Plus, a USC fan. However, you still get to watch the Nebraska stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did not want to pay for that garbage production. Garbage outside of Nebraska. Nebraska does a good job. But outside of Nebraska,
schools are a little iffy.
Yeah, some schools are a little iffy.
I was a student sometimes.
When I'm watching Nebraska versus Michigan State or Nebraska versus Penn State baseball out in Happy Valley, and they got the center field camera or the camera from way up high in the press box that they just have it zoomed out, and you can't even see that little white speck we call a baseball. I didn't want to pay $9.99 a month for that.
Yeah, some of the broadcasters, I'd be on the like, oh Lord, touch us hard.
It's not even the broadcasters. It's just the lack of investment that we talk about, where it's like, okay, we're all Big Ten institutions.
You get that money.
Don't be afraid to go buy 2 more cameras. Like don't be afraid to go
They
buy
just
2
fire
more
up the
cameras.
game changer one camera.
The one camera where it's like, I need a little joystick like we got over here. I mean, we have nicer cameras here at the station where it's like, hey, we just fire up this joystick and let me just zoom in a little bit all the way to the batter's box instead of watching it from 500 feet in the
think
air.
somebody had a drone one time. I was like, this is ridiculous, man. Raffy, what you got, my man?
All right, hold on. I want to correct this. So somebody says, "Damn, man, it's mainly students producing it." Hold on. There's a difference because Nebraska, like we just said, does a very good job. It's very professional. And as somebody that went through the program, not actually through Big Ten Plus, but like went through the journalism college, I can attest that like they invest into it. What I'm saying is other people, Penn's like the other schools do not. They don't have.
You did a pretty good job of their game the other night.
Well, but that was ESPN Plus. Like, there's different,
true.
right? So,
That's true.
like, we saw it when Nebraska went down to Louisiana Lafayette and played the Raging Cajuns earlier this year. They had a really good broadcast crew. They had a guy that was, or somebody behind the scenes that was doing the camera switching. They had people actually operating the cameras. There's places around the Big Ten when you're talking about some of these other Olympic sports that won't have anybody operating cameras. And so instead, what they'll do is they'll just turn on the camera from up top. They'll sync in their radio broadcast crew or whatever it is.
They're not setting them up for
They're not setting them up for success.
It's not the students' fault.
Not
that's
one
for
bit
sure.
at all. This is the adults in the room that we're talking about.
Boy, that keeps being a narrative in college athletics right now, doesn't
100%.
Raff, what you got, my man?
All right, everybody. Today's Raff's Good Take goes out to 2 award winners from the University of Nebraska. First goes out to Taylor Christopoulos, the gymnast for the Nebraska men's gymnastics team. He won the Nissan Emery Award, which is equivalent to the Heisman Trophy in gymnastics. It was the first time in 37 years that a Nebraska gymnast had won that award, becoming the 4th Nebraska gymnast. And the second Raff's Good Take goes out to Lexi Rodriguez for winning the James E. Sullivan Award. It is looked at as the Heisman of amateur athletics, and she is the first Nebraskan ever to win that award. So congratulations
That's awesome.
to Taylor and Lexi. You guys are Raff's Good Take.
That's great.
I love it. Folks, the AD attitude adjustment today is this. You know, I love looking at quotes. I love reading. I love devouring and trying to learn as much as I can. This limited time on earth. But quotes do nothing if you don't do something.
Ooh, I like that one.
Quotes do nothing unless you do something. That's why, you know, it's my dad would always say this to me is, you know, because my dad didn't learn, long story short, my father didn't learn to read until he became a Christian. He was illiterate. And you guys both have heard that story. My mother taught my dad how to read. And my father was always devouring books growing up. I didn't know that story until later. He shared it in church. But my father would always say, information without implementation is insanity.
Ooh, I like that one too.
Information without implementation is insanity. Because he would ask that. So what'd you learn? When are you going to imply it? When are you going to imply it?
That's crazy.
So quotes do nothing unless you do something.
Can I say a quote that I found yesterday? And I don't usually do this, but I thought this was really, really cool. There was one that I stumbled across yesterday, guys, that said, if your life was a movie, what would the audience be yelling at you, telling you to do?
I love that one.
And
Absolutely.
I thought, oh man, Raff, stay home. Hang out with Nick and AD one of these times. No, I'm kidding. But in reality, I thought that was really, really
That's
cool.
a powerful one. I
thought
love
that was
one.
really, really cool.
Yes, it is.
Because I was like, man, we so often we don't trust our gut.
Right.
And we do something else.
Yep.
And here we are.
We settle.
And we settle. We settle.
Hey, G, what you got, brother?
And I got one thing. I had a talk with some junior high school athletes here in the state of Texas. There was junior day over at Prairie View A&M, and pretty much my whole message to them was, you know, for you as a high school player, you don't have a lot going on in terms of responsibilities other than your grades, whatever your sport is, being prepared for that, and then obviously staying out of trouble. And sometimes we get, you know, we're at the college level where these students are now becoming professional pretty much because of NIL and transfer portal. They got to make adult decisions sometimes and not with the right guidance. But when you are at that place where you still only have a few responsibilities, maximize those responsibilities. That means take care of business with that stuff, and your support system at home, your mom, your dad, your family around you will help do the rest. once you get to college, obviously we already know it's changing for a lot of college football athletes and a lot of college athletes in general from all sports. So when you're at that time where it's just a few little things you got to get done, get them done. Set those goals right, because then those goals will get you where you want to be pretty much.
Absolutely. I want to say, Eric, happy Easter to you as well. To everyone, happy Easter to people, different faiths and etc. But man, enjoy your family. It's Good Friday. And my
right.
faith, it's an amazing day as far as that goes. To each one of you, Raff, take us home, my man.
All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. Be nice to each other, and we will talk to you on Monday.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Salt Lake City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich